IEC Chief Electoral Officer Sai Mamabolo has reminded eligible voters of the importance of registering to vote in this, the second and last national registration drive the Commission will be holding.
Ahead of the second registration weekend, we remind voters of the general rule applicable in elections. That is, a person votes at the voting station where they are registered. The only exception to the rule is that a voter may vote outside of the voting district of registration only if they first notify the Commission by a date which will be regulated by the election timetable. The need for this prior notification is new and comes about as a result of the changes to the law.
The IEC has attributed the success of its registration weekend in November last year to the use of its voter management devices. The first registration weekend saw nearly 3 million South Africans register to vote or update their details on the voter's roll. The VMDs are the mainstay technology of the registration process, recording amongst others when voting stations open, staff attendance and registration applications without being affected by load shedding.
The devices are designed to operate online via a secure private cellular data connection. However, all three applications have been coded to function fully without access to the network, and what we generally call the offline mode. And that is if certain predetermined parameters are met. This includes instances where there is insufficient connectivity with the data center. The interplay between the online and offline modes of the devices will happen without operator intervention.
The Electoral Commission has urged communities to respect the right of fellow citizens to register to vote. This was said in light of the service delivery protests which interfered with last year's registration weekend in some communities. The Commission says that the arrangements are in place to try and prevent this from happening again.
There has been some very active cooperation and coordination between the officials from the Commission and the Nat Joints, both at national level but also at the provincial and more local level. In addition to that, the processes that the Commission has had in place for some time around conflict resolution and mediation have been stepped up, and certainly where we are aware that there are areas of tension, there has been those areas have been identified, and there have been agreements about additional steps that will be taken.
Citizens must produce a valid green barcoded ID book or smart card ID in order to register. Voting stations will open between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Registration will continue at IEC offices and on the IEC's online platform until President Cyril Ramaphosa announces the date for elections. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.